Hey everybody. It's a late night where I'm at, but I thought I just finished a book. We've been doing some book reviews lately, and I wanted to get another one out there for you. So welcome. This is Book Reviews on Agile for Humans. I'm Ryan Ripley. Um, what I'm trying to do with these book reviews, and hopefully you're finding, let me know in the comments what you think about this whole new thing. I'm trying to do reviews on books that are not in any way related to the Agile space, but have had an impact on me anyways, or at least have given me some ideas about being a Scrum Master, a trainer, a teacher, and all the things that I need to be in order to best serve all of you out there. And so this week's book, Jimmy Carr, Before and Laughter. So those of you not familiar with Jimmy Carr is a comedian out of the United Kingdom, right? So he primarily works in England, Scotland, Ireland, sometimes comes over to the US, sometimes in Canada, but primarily a British comedian. He is absolutely filthy. So if you go out there and check him out on YouTube and you start hearing swearing and dirty jokes, I apologize. I love one-liners. He's really good at just silly one-liner puns and dad jokes, but really goes offensive quickly. So that is the warning. If you go on YouTube and find, and there's plenty of his specials online on YouTube, and you start hearing really offensive, horrible stuff, I warned you. But what I do like is his book, and I like his comedy too. But I'm warning you, it's a little edgy. But this book is really talking about his life, his rise in comedy, and there was just so many parallels that to being a Scrum Master, to being an Agile coach. That I love this book. He's got a part in here. If you tell someone your deepest, darkest secret and they tell you you need professional help, that's a friend. Like I think that's a Scrum Master to a T, right? Someone really goes deep and personal and it starts moving to this area of therapy. You get them help. You don't try to solve it. He has this idea of holding strong beliefs loosely. You know, he says you might have a line in the sand somewhere, but it's sand. Rake it over. Don't be a dummy. Behavior flexibility is one of the core human skills. You know, the ability to adapt is just all throughout this book. It's a major theme that he talks about. He also just talks about. I mean, of course, there's some elements in here about how to be funny and how to be a comedian and what it takes to be successful in that arena. But what I appreciate too is that he really talks about being a specialist, right? And that you in the workplace or in the marketplace, you're selling your speciality, and that what you've got to do is bring something different to the table. You got to bring something forward into the world that looks a little different, that sounds a little different, that hits a little different, that resonates. And I think that's really a great message as well. And so it's a self-help life story kind of book from a comedian. You wouldn't expect necessarily massive gems, but it's really just a lot of great little quips and insights and a few jokes along the way. So some of his materials in here as well. I love this. I'm going to read it again. Part of what he talks about too is not having heroes. You know, don't worship the people that you're looking up to. Learn from them, grow past, move on, which I think is so important. And goals, even goal setting, having small goals, big goals, you know, relates back to sprint goal and product goal. Understanding where you're trying to go, measuring that, right? I mean, he just talks about how to build up, you know, your speciality and working through all of that. And he uses his progression through comedy, and some of the psychological things that along the way as we grow in our mastery of a topic or a craft. But he says something in here too that is just profound. I'm a big fan of quotes, and one of his quotes is that we die twice. The first time when we physically die, and the second time, the last time someone talks about us. And I know it's morbid, right? But it also made me think about my different journeys and different times as a Scrum Master in different organizations. Right. And so to say we die when we leave a company is a little extreme, but every time we leave a company, our departure really happens twice. The first time when we turn in the badge and never, you know, step through the doors again. But the second time is when they stop bringing up the lessons they learned from you. And I can't tell you how many times I've had people that I've worked with in the past who many, many years later have said, hey, we still talk about that training you did, or we still talk about that retrospective that really ticked off that executive, but later on a light bulb went off. And I think that's a really important swing thought for Agile coaches and Scrum Masters and consultants, that, it's not just the first departure is when we truly leave. It's the last time anything that we helped with or mentioned or taught or coached or mentored, when the last time that thing is thought about or discussed, that's really when we're gone. And I thought that was such a neat thought in this book as well. So again, big fan of Jimmy Carr, big fan of his comedy, but again, you've been warned. It's filthy. It's horrible stuff, but for some reason it tickles my funny bone. But the book is excellent. It's very readable. Lots of great lessons in here, and highly recommend it. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? If you've read the book, if you're familiar with Jimmy Carr, I would love to hear your thoughts. Is there a book out there that you've read that it's not directly related to Agile or Scrum that you think is awesome as well? Maybe I'll add it to the pile. And do you like these reviews? Do you want to hear about books not directly related to agility that have some adjacent value? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Check out the description for a link to the book and some other information about Jimmy Carr. And I'll tell you what, we'll take a look at your comments. We'll see what you like, and we'll try to do better next time. Thanks, everybody.